Winter storm hit Northeast, causing difficult driving, closed. Hartford, Connecticut. AP. Parts of the Northeast were hit Tuesday by a snowstorm that canceled flights and schools and prompted warnings for people to stay off the roads, while some areas that anticipated heavy snow were getting less than that as the weather pattern changed. More than 1,000 flights were canceled so far Tuesday morning, mostly at the airports in the New York City area and in Boston. It was the first major snowstorm in New York City since February 2022. The city, which has the nation's largest school system, switched to remote learning and closed its buildings Tuesday because of the storm. "It's been a quiet winter, so it's kind of welcoming," said Ricky Smith, who was on his way to a construction job in the city. "I just hope nobody gets hurt." Mayor Eric Adams told New Yorkers not to underestimate the storm. "Let's allow Mother Nature to do its thing," he said. "The name of the game is to keep our roadways clear, and we're hoping that people use public transportation, or if they can stay home, please do so." In Connecticut, Governor Ned Lamont ordered all executive branch office buildings closed to the public for the day. A pedestrian carries an umbrella while walking through the snow Tuesday, February 13, 2024. In Providence, Rhode Island, parts of the Northeast were hit Tuesday by a snowstorm that canceled flights and schools and prompted warnings for people to stay off the roads, while some areas that anticipated heavy snow were getting less than that as the weather pattern changed. AP. Photo, David Goldman. The timing of winter storm is of particular concern, especially considering that snowfall rates are expected to be heavy during the morning rush hour commute and continue through the afternoon, Lamont said in a statement. The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation temporarily reduced the speed limit on several interstates to 45 miles per hour, 72 kilometers per hour, in the east-central region of the state because of the storm. Simply put, conditions are extremely poor, the Doylestown Township Police Department posted. Most roads are snow-covered and slick. Please stay home unless absolutely necessary. Some of the highest snowfall totals were forecast for the northern suburbs of New York City and southwestern Connecticut, according to the National Weather Service. Wind gusts could hit 60 miles per hour, 100 kilometers per hour, off the Massachusetts coast and 40 miles per hour, 65 kilometers per hour, in interior parts of southern New England. Ahead of the storm, Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey told all non-essential executive branch employees to not report to work Tuesday. Boston schools were closing and a parking ban was in effect. Similar closures and bans were put in place in other cities and towns. Emergency. Officials had equipment in place to help keep roads clear. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu said the city's homeless shelters would remain open. Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee signed an executive order shuttering state government offices Tuesday and banning tractor-trailer travel on all interstates and state roads beginning at midnight. McKee said he issued the tractor-trailer ban in coordination with Massachusetts, Connecticut, and New York. Airports in the region asked travelers to check with their airlines in case of cancellations and delays. Power companies said they were preparing to respond to possible outages that could occur because of trees and branches falling onto electricity lines. The hazardous conditions can also make travel challenging for our crews, so we're staging extra staff and equipment across the state to ensure we're ready to respond as quickly as possible, said Steve Sullivan, Eversource's president of Connecticut Electric Operations. At a news conference, New York City officials said that despite the snow predictions, they had no plans to relocate people from several large, heated tent shelter complexes built for thousands of homeless migrants. In the South, flood watches covered much of Alabama and parts of central Georgia on Monday. Up to 5 inches, 12.7 centimeters, of rain was expected in parts of Georgia and Alabama, the National Weather Service warned. Associated Press writers Steve LeBlanc in Boston, Kathy McCormick in Concord, New Hampshire, Jeff Martin in Atlanta, Mike Balsamo in Stony Brook, New York, Bruce Shipkowski in Toms River, New Jersey, and Ron Todt in Philadelphia contributed to this report. File. Sanitation trucks mounted with snowplows are parked on the west side of Manhattan in New York, January 2, 2014. Parts of the Northeast were preparing Monday, February 12, 2024, for a coastal storm that was expected to pack high winds and dump a foot or more of snow in some areas, leading to school closures, warnings against traveling by road and the possible disruption of flights. AP photo, Peter Morgan, file. File. New York City Sanitation Department workers use a front-end loader to defill a salt spreader at one of the department's salt sheds in Lower Manhattan, January 7, 2022, in New York. Parts of the Northeast were preparing Monday, February 12, 2024 for a coastal storm that was expected to pack high winds and dump a foot or more of snow in some areas, leading to school closures, warnings against traveling by road and the possible disruption of flights. AP photo, Mary Altaffer, file.